Welcome to the deep dive. We often look at ideas that seem, well, a bit upside down at first glance,
hmm
but then reveal something, quite profound.
Yeah, that's the goal.
And today, we're diving into a concept that really pushes back on how we think about knowing things, about conversation, about intelligence itself.
It really does.
It's suggesting that maybe, just maybe, the smartest thing isn't always showing how smart you are. Sometimes it's the opposite.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this. It sounds fascinating.
It is. So for this deep dive, we're zeroing in on just one source. It's titled Excerpts from the Art of Strategic Ignorance.
Strategic ignorance. Okay.
And our mission really is to explore this idea. It seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But it's surprisingly effective.
How so?
Well, the source suggests it offers a kind of shortcut, a different way to look at how we interact, and maybe more importantly, how we gather really good information in almost any situation.
Okay, I'm intrigued. And the core idea from this source, you said it's distilled right down.
Yeah, into this really punchy phrase, play dumb to catch the smart.
Wow. Okay, play dumb to catch the smart. That definitely makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
hmm
Why would pretending to be ignorant, holding back what you actually know, be the smart play? It just sort of turns everything we usually think about knowledge and dialogue on its head.
It does. And what's fascinating here, and this is key, the source is really clear that this isn't about actually being ignorant.
Right, not genuine cluelessness.
No, not at all. It's talking about a very deliberate, calculated strategy, a sophisticated way to handle interactions.
Okay.
And it forces us to question some big assumptions we have, about knowledge equaling power, about how conversations work, how information moves between people.
Or how it can make it move.
Exactly, how we
Yeah.
can make it flow towards us. It's a maneuver, a conscious choice, not a lack of knowledge.
That distinction feels really crucial.
Yeah.
So when the source says, play dumb to catch the smart, it's not telling you to, stop learning or actually be uninformed. It's about a strategy, managing how you come across in a specific moment.
Precisely. You're choosing intentionally not to flash your credentials, so to speak.
Or maybe asking questions that seem, I don't know, surprisingly basic, even if you secretly know the answer, or more complex aspects.
Yes, exactly that. And that intentional act, that's what triggers the core mechanism the source talked about. Pretending not to know can make others reveal more.
Okay, so how does that actually work? What's the psychology there?
Well, this is where it gets clever. When you deliberately hold back or ask those seemingly naive questions, you create something the source implies is like an informational void.
Knowledge vacuum.
A knowledge vacuum, exactly. Think about it. When most people see a gap like that, what do they want to do?
Fill it, usually. Explain things.
Right. There's this almost irresistible urge to fill it, to explain, to clarify, maybe even show off a little bit of what they know.
So if I seem less informed, someone might naturally step up and give more background, more detail than they otherwise would have.
That's the idea. They might think, oh, this person needs the basics. And in explaining those basics, they reveal much more.
It's like it disarms them.
It absolutely does. That act of pretending not to know lowers their defenses. They're less likely to be guarded or competitive.
Yeah, I can picture that. If I walk into a meeting and immediately start showing off everything I know about the topic, the other person might clam up
Right.
or feel like they need to compete.
Exactly. Or they might just assume you already know everything they could possibly add.
So by playing dumb, you shift that dynamic.
Completely. They don't see you as a threat or a competitor trying to one-up them. They see you as, well, as receptive, as someone who genuinely wants to understand, someone who values their input.
Okay.
And this perception management, it encourages that specific outcome. They reveal more, much more than if you just asked direct, challenging questions or asserted your own expertise. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really throws a wrench in that common belief that you always have to demonstrate how smart you are to get ahead or get information.
Right. Sometimes humility, even feigned humility, is actually more powerful.
It can be a far more potent tool. It's subtle, but it's a form of influence, turning a potential contest into a kind of collaboration where they're collaborating and giving you information.
It's funny, isn't it? We spend so much energy trying to look smart.
We do.
And maybe that very effort actually stops us from getting smarter by learning from others.
It definitely can.
So let's dig into the why a bit more. Pretending not to know can make others reveal more. Why does that work so consistently? What is it in us that makes us want to fill that gap? Is it just wanting to be helpful, or is there more to it?
Well, the source suggests it taps into a couple of really powerful human tendencies. Firstly, yeah, people generally like sharing what they know, especially if they think someone else genuinely needs or, importantly, appreciates that knowledge.
Right, we like to feel helpful, knowledgeable.
Exactly. So by strategically playing dumb, you're essentially inviting them into the role of teacher or expert. You make it easy and appealing for them to share. You're not dragging information out, you're creating a situation where they want to offer it. It feels natural, even rewarding for them.
You're kind of activating their inner mentor or expert.
That's a great way to put it. And secondly, there's definitely a social validation piece here too.
How so?
When someone explains something and you seem to really listen and absorb it, you're validating their expertise, their experience. That feels good, right?
Yeah, definitely. Recognition is powerful.
So by creating this space where you appear to need their insight, you subtly give them that status, that ego boost. They don't feel tested. They feel respected as a source of knowledge.
And because they don't see you as a threat or a competitor, just as a willing learner.
Their guard drops. Information flows to you organically. You don't have to pull it out. They push it towards you. It changes the whole dynamic from potentially competitive to cooperative sharing.
That shift feels huge. You go from extracting information to receiving it willingly.
Okay, so this is fascinating conceptually, but let's make it practical. What does this mean for you listening right now? How could someone actually use this strategic ignorance?
Yeah, where does it apply in real life?
Exactly. Think about times you want to get more info, but maybe asking directly feels too pushy, or you suspect there's more beneath the surface.
Okay, well, the applications are actually pretty broad. Think about, say, a negotiation, or even just trying to understand a colleague's perspective better.
Or learning from a mentor, maybe.
Definitely. With a mentor, instead of trying to impress them with what you already know, imagine asking really foundational questions, letting them explain things from their perspective, from the ground up.
You'd probably get way more than just the answer to your specific question. You'd get context, history, maybe stories.
Exactly. Nuances, hard-won lessons you'd never get otherwise. You create a space for them to just share their experience freely.
Okay, what about in a team setting? Like a meeting? Oh, absolutely. Imagine you're new to a team or taking over a complicated project. Instead of jumping in with your expert assessment.
Which might put people on the defensive.
Right. You could ask things like, could someone walk me through the history here? What were the original aims? Or, help me understand the challenges you've run into.
Seemingly dumb questions.
Seemingly dumb, but incredibly effective.
Yeah.
You're not just getting facts. You're inviting people to share their viewpoints, their frustrations, maybe even office politics or hidden assumptions.
Things that aren't in the official reports.
Precisely. You get a much richer, more human understanding of the situation than you would by just asserting authority or reading documents.
And bonus, people probably feel heard and valued because you're asking for their take. Builds trust while you're gathering intel.
It really does. Think about sales, too, instead of a hard pitch.
Yeah.
Asking really basic discovery questions. Walk me through your typical day. What are the biggest headaches? You invite the client to educate you.
And they probably reveal their real pain points, not just the surface level stuff.
Often, yes. Things they might not even articulate if you just launched into your solutions. They feel understood, not sold to.
It seems like it's less about manipulation and more about genuine curiosity framed strategically.
That's a good way to see it. You are genuinely curious, but you're presenting that curiosity in a way that maximizes openness.
What about personal relationships? Could it work there?
I think so. When trying to understand why someone is upset, for instance, instead of defending or explaining yourself.
Which is often the first instinct.
Right.
Yeah.
Just saying something like, help me understand why that felt bad for you, or can you explain more about why that situation was frustrating? It creates space for them to share their feelings without feeling attacked.
It lowers the temperature, maybe, allows for empathy.
It can, yes. It focuses on understanding their experience first.
Okay, but there's a potential pitfall here, isn't there?
Yeah.
How do you play dumb without just looking dumb or incompetent?
That's the art, right?
Yeah.
The source stresses this is strategic and deliberate. It takes some social awareness.
So it's not about acting like a complete blank slate.
No. The key is conveying genuine, respectful curiosity. Your tone, your body language, how you phrase the questions it all needs to signal engagement, not apathy or actual ignorance.
So you're humble in your approach to getting information, not necessarily ignorant of the topic itself.
Exactly. You're opening a channel for them to talk, not demonstrating your own lack of capacity. It's about asking, tell me more, effectively, in subtle ways.
Got it. So this strategic ignorance, it's really a tool for much deeper understanding, isn't it? Not just scraping facts off the surface.
Absolutely. By letting others take the stage, by creating that psychological safety for them to elaborate, you gain so much more than just the explicit information.
Like what?
You get insights into their perspectives, their priorities, maybe their biases, their assumptions, even how they feel about the topic. Stuff they'd likely never tell you if they felt judged or if you were dominating the conversation.
Information you might totally miss otherwise.
Totally. It's like active listening supercharged, because you're not just listening, you're actively creating the conditions for deeper sharing. Ultimately, you end up with a much richer, more nuanced understanding yourself.
This whole deep dive into the art of strategic ignorance has been really eye-opening. That core idea, play dumb to catch the smart, it's so simple, but really quite profound in its potential effect.
It is surprisingly powerful.
And it's a reminder, isn't it, that real intelligence isn't always about showing what you know. Sometimes it's knowing when not to, when to step back and let others share.
That's the essence of it. So to just quickly summarize the main takeaway, deliberately choosing to play dumb or pretend not to know isn't about being deceitful. It's a smart, if counterintuitive, strategy.
A strategy to get people to open up more.
Exactly. By tapping into that natural human desire to inform, to teach, to fill the perceived gap, you're consciously shaping how information flows, making it flow towards you.
Right, turning competition into cooperation.
Precisely. And this raises an important question for all of us, I think.
Right.
Just think about this. How many times might we have missed out on getting really valuable information? Or uncovering some hidden insight? Or even just building a stronger connection? Because our default mode was to show what we knew instead of strategically creating that space, that psychological safety, for the other person to share their wisdom.
That's a really provocative thought to end on. Makes you reconsider past conversations, doesn't it?
It does. So maybe reflect on that. When and how could you use this concept strategically in your own life? Where might playing dumb actually help you uncover something important that would otherwise stay hidden?